Some of the most comforting memories in life come not from what we see, but from what we smell. The scent of clean sheets, a pot of cinnamon and orange simmering gently on the stove, the soft breeze of morning air through an open window. These aren't just smells, they're feelings. As we get older, we begin to understand that a clean home isn't just about wiping surfaces or taking out the trash. It's about how your home makes you feel the moment you walk through the door. A truly clean home smells like calm, care, and quiet pride. And no, it doesn't take fancy sprays or expensive gadgets to create that. What it takes are small habits, honest, thoughtful routines that have stood the test of time. Today, I want to share 10 of those habits with you. They're simple, they're natural, and they work. These are the same practices older women, including myself, have used for years to keep a home smelling not just lean, but truly welcoming. Let's begin. Secret number 1, let fresh air in every single day. It might sound almost too simple, but this one habit, done daily, has more power than any scented spray or fancy air purifier. The truth is, the air inside our homes gets stale much faster than we think. It collects everything, from cooking smells and pet odors to moisture, dust, and even the trace of last night's dinner. Over time, without movement, that air grows heavy. It lingers, and no candle or aerosol can truly remove that weight. At best, they just cover it up. I often tell people, air needs to breathe too, and so does your space. Each morning, no matter the season, I open at least one window, just a crack, just for a few minutes. In the winter, I do it while I make the bed. In the summer, while I brew coffee. That brief moment of real moving air does something subtle but powerful. It resets the whole atmosphere. Yes, it may be chilly, or humid, or even noisy, but that discomfort only lasts a few moments. The benefit lasts all day. The room feels lighter, the mind feels clearer, and the house seems to say, thank you. You don't need a breeze, just movement. Just a bit of nature reminding your home it's still connected to the world outside. This habit doesn't cost a thing, and yet it gives so much. Letting fresh air in is one of the kindest things you can do, not only for your home, but for your body, your breath, and your peace of mind. Secret number 2, clean the things we often forget. When we think about cleaning, we usually start with the obvious. Kitchen counters, floors, dishes, maybe the bathroom. And yes, those matter. But if your home smells off and you can't figure out why, it's often because of the things you can't see. Fabrics, in particular, are quiet collectors. They soak up scent like a sponge. Curtains, couch pillows, throw blankets, the cozy cover draped over the armrest. They may look clean, but they're holding on to weeks or even months of invisible smells. Each season, 4 times a year, I do what I call a fabric refresh. I take down the curtains, unzip the pillow covers, and gather the soft things that rarely make it to the laundry room. If something can't be machine washed, I'll air it outside or bring it to the cleaners. In the rinse cycle, I add a splash of white vinegar or a light, natural deodorizer. Not a heavy perfume, just something that lifts rather than masks whatever's been hiding in the fibers. Even if the fabric looks perfectly fine, the difference after a good wash is striking. The air changes. The room feels newer. It's like opening the windows, but from the inside out. So don't wait for a visible stain. Give those quiet corners of your home the attention they deserve. You'll be surprised how much freshness they return. Secret number 3, use vinegar. The old-fashioned miracle. It might not smell pretty at first, but white vinegar is one of the most powerful natural cleaning tools you can keep in your home. And best of all, it's simple, safe, and costs next to nothing. I know. Some people turn up their noses. It smells like pickles, they say. But here's the truth. That strong scent fades within 20 minutes, and when it goes, it takes the bad smells with it. No perfume, no cover-up, just clean. I keep a spray bottle with equal parts white vinegar and water. That's it. I use it everywhere. After cooking to clear the air, on the kitchen counter after meals, to wipe down bathroom sinks, to freshen the fridge shelves, even to clean the microwave or trash bin. And here's a little trick that's worked wonders. If a room feels musty, leave a small bowl of vinegar out overnight. By morning, that stale smell is usually gone. Vinegar works on tile, glass, stainless steel, and more. It's gentle, natural, and doesn't leave behind a chemical fog like store-bought sprays often do. Sometimes, we forget how powerful simple things can be, but this one? It's been used for generations, long before we had labels full of ingredients we can't pronounce. So give vinegar a chance. It might not smell like a flower garden, but it will help your home feel clean in the truest sense of the word. Secret number 4. Simmer something simple and warm. There's something special about walking into a home and being met with a gentle, cozy scent. Not something sprayed from a can, but something that feels like it came from the heart. One of the easiest ways to create that feeling is with a pot of homemade stovetop simmer. It's an old habit I picked up on a rainy afternoon years ago, and it's become one of my favorite rituals. All you need is a small pot of water, brought to a simmer on low heat. Then, add whatever you have on hand: orange or lemon peels, a cinnamon stick, a few cloves, maybe a splash of vanilla or fresh rosemary. Let it gently steam, and before long, your whole home will smell like comfort. You don't have to hover over it. Just let it work quietly in the background while you go about your day. The warmth of the scent fills each room, softens the edges of your mood, and makes the house feel lived in the best way. If you prefer, use a slow cooker instead of the stove. Just fill it with water and ingredients, set it to low, and let it run safely for hours. This isn't about covering up bad smells. It's about creating an atmosphere, something real, something human. A pot of simmering citrus and spice says, "This home is cared for," and so are the people in it. Secret number 5. Deep clean your carpets. They remember everything. Carpets do more than warm a room. They hold on to everything that touches them: dust, pet hair, cooking smells, pollen, and even the tiny particles we track in on our shoes each day. Over time, these quiet layers build up, and no matter how often you vacuum, the real mess sinks deep into the fibers. That's why I always recommend deep cleaning your carpets at least twice a year. Not just for looks, for scent, for air quality, for peace of mind. You don't need to buy a machine. Most grocery or hardware stores rent them for a reasonable fee. Or you can hire a professional once in a while. Personally, I use a small home shampooer with hot water and a splash of vinegar in the rinse tank. It lifts away odors without leaving behind a heavy fragrance. The difference afterward is remarkable. The room feels cleaner, lighter. Even the way you breathe seems easier. Clean carpets don't just make your home look nice. They change how it feels underfoot and in the air around you. You're not just removing dirt, you're refreshing the whole foundation of your space. So don't wait for a spill or stain. Make deep carpet cleaning part of your seasonal rhythm. It's a quiet act of care, and your home will thank you. Secret number 6. Wash the trash can, not just the trash. It's easy to think that once we've taken the garbage out, the job is done. The bag is gone, the can is empty, and the kitchen looks clean. But sometimes, the smell lingers, and we can't figure out why. The answer, more often than not, is the trash can itself. Even when lined with bags, small leaks happen. A cracked eggshell, some leftover coffee, a bit of spoiled fruit. They slip through, settle at the bottom, and start to soak into the plastic or metal. Over time, those little spills create a stubborn odor that no spray or candle can hide. That's why I've made it a habit to wash out my trash can once a week. If the weather's nice, I take it outside, give it a good scrub with dish soap and white vinegar, then rinse and let it dry in the sun. On colder days, I use the bathtub and just make sure to rinse the tub afterward. Don't forget the underside of the lid. That's where grime hides. Once clean, I often sprinkle a little baking soda at the bottom or place a dryer sheet under the bag for extra freshness. It takes just a few minutes, but the difference is real. A clean trash can keeps your kitchen smelling the way it should, like food, warmth, and life. Not waste? It's a small effort with a big return. Secret number 7. Keep baking soda in every room. It may be one of the simplest items in your home, but don't let that fool you. Baking soda, that little orange box you keep in the pantry, is one of the most effective, affordable, and gentle odor removers you can find. I've used it for decades, and I'm still surprised by how many problems it solves. Unlike sprays or scented products, baking soda doesn't just cover up smells. It actually absorbs them, quietly, completely, and without leaving behind anything artificial. That matters, especially as we age and become more sensitive to fragrances or chemicals in the air. Let's begin with the refrigerator. Even when it looks clean, small odors from leftovers, vegetables, or that forgotten jar in the back can start to build. Placing an open box of baking soda on a shelf helps absorb those smells before they settle in. It's a small step that makes a big difference, but don't stop there. I use baking soda throughout the house. Sprinkle it lightly over carpets before vacuuming. Let it sit for about 15 or 20 minutes. Then vacuum as usual. It helps lift lingering smells, especially useful if you have pets or if you cook often. For shoes, a little sprinkle inside overnight, then shaken out in the morning, freshens them without any effort. I do the same for my gym bag and even the bottom of the laundry hamper. I also keep a small dish, tucked out of sight behind the toilet, under the kitchen sink, and inside linen closets. You'd be surprised how much freshness a single tablespoon of baking soda can bring to those small, closed spaces. It's odorless, it's safe, and it works. No perfumes, no residue, just cleaner, lighter air. Sometimes the best solutions aren't fancy, they're familiar. Baking soda is one of those quiet helpers that asks for nothing, but gives your home a sense of freshness that truly lasts. Secret number 8. Clean the hidden smell zones. We all do our best to keep our homes clean. We wipe the counters, mop the floors, scrub the sinks, and vacuum the carpets. But sometimes, even after all that effort, something still smells off. And often, the reason isn't what we missed on the surface. It's what we didn't see at all. Some of the strongest and most stubborn odors come from the hidden places. Spots we don't think about. Places we walk past every day without noticing. But over time, they build up layers of grime, moisture, and forgotten spills that quietly affect how our home smells. Let's start in the kitchen. When was the last time you pulled your refrigerator away from the wall? Dust, crumbs, and even a lost grape or two can be hiding back there. A quick wipe with warm water and vinegar can make a real difference. Inside your dishwasher, check the filter. It collects tiny bits of food, and when left too long, it creates a musty, sour smell. Most filters twist right out and rinse clean in a minute or two. Now, the bathroom. We all clean the bowl, but behind and underneath the toilet, that area collects more than we'd like to admit. A quick scrub once a month with vinegar or gentle soap can stop those mysterious smells that no air freshener can touch. Your drains deserve attention too. Pour a bit of baking soda down, followed by vinegar. Let it bubble and work its way through. Then flush with hot water. That clears buildup and freshens your sink. Finally, think about your washing machine, especially front loaders. Moisture collects in the rubber seal. I wipe it dry after each use and leave the door open to let the drum breathe. That simple habit prevents mildew and keeps your laundry area smelling clean, not damp. These aren't chores we do every day, but once a month, they're worth the effort. Because a truly fresh home isn't just about how it looks. It's about caring for the spaces no one sees. Secret number 9. Choose scents that whisper, not shout. There's a fine line between a home that smells inviting and one that feels overwhelming. You've probably been there, walked into a room where the scent was so strong it nearly pushed you back. A heavy plug-in, a loud candle, or too much spray in the air. And instead of feeling welcomed, you feel like you need to open a window and breathe. Over the years, I've learned something simple but powerful. Subtle scents are the ones that stay with you, in the best way. Our goal isn't to impress anyone with how strong our home smells. The goal is to help people feel something the moment they step inside. Calm, safety, warmth. And that kind of feeling doesn't come from a bottle labeled Mountain Breeze. It comes from light, natural touches. A few drops of essential oil, lemon, lavender, cedar, or vanilla, in your mop water or diffuser. A cotton ball tucked behind a curtain or dresser drawer. A lightly scented candle burned for just an hour in the evening, not all day long. Even fresh ingredients work beautifully. A bowl of lemons on the table, a bundle of rosemary in a small vase near the sink. These are gentle, honest scents, the kind that don't try too hard. I've found that when you use less, you actually get more comfort, more peace. Because what people really notice isn't just the smell, it's the care behind it. If a home smells like clean sheets and quiet mornings, that's more powerful than any artificial scent ever could be. So let your scent choices whisper. Let them say softly, "This space is cared for." Because when your home smells calm, people feel calm, including you. And that's what truly makes a space feel like home. Secret number 10. Create a scent routine, not a last-minute rescue. We've all done it. A friend calls to say they're dropping by in 15 minutes, and suddenly we're lighting candles, spraying air fresheners, flinging open windows, and hoping the house smells nice enough in time. It's rushed, it's stressful, and the results, honestly, never feel quite right. Over the years, I've learned something better. A home that smells fresh every day doesn't come from panic cleaning. It comes from quiet, steady habits. Small things done regularly, without drama, without fuss. And these little actions, when done consistently, create a space that smells good, not just for guests, but for you. Here's what my own scent routine looks like. Nothing complicated. Each morning, I crack open a window, even if it's cold outside. Just 5 to 10 minutes to let the air move. While making coffee, I check the trash. Even if it's not full, I ask myself, is there anything in here that's going to smell later? I fluff the couch pillows, shake out the throw blanket, and give the kitchen a quick once-over with my vinegar spray. If the house feels heavy, I simmer something gentle, orange peel, cinnamon, or rosemary. In the evening, I might light one candle for just an hour, not to hide anything, just to bring a bit of warmth. Before bed, I make sure no wet towels are left in the washer, no dirty dishes are sitting in the sink, and sometimes I sprinkle baking soda in the bathroom or hamper, just in case. That's it. Simple, repeatable, and most of all, calm. Because when scent becomes a routine, your house doesn't surprise you anymore. No more wondering, what's that smell? Just a quiet confidence that your home, like your life, is being gently cared for every single day. Bonus. A few more thoughts. Quiet habits that hold deep value. Now that we've gone through the 10 habits that keep a home smelling clean and comforting, I want to take a moment to share a few more ideas. Not just tips, but gentle reminders that can bring peace, ease, and purpose to your daily rhythm. Let's begin with something simple. Open surfaces invite calm. Take a look at your countertops, tables, nightstands. Are they crowded? Clearing even one small area each day, a corner of the kitchen or the coffee table, creates space not just in your home, but in your mind. When the air can move freely, scent can too. A simple open space tells your senses, here you can rest. Another small but mighty habit, wash the washer. It sounds funny, but yes, your washing machine needs care too, especially if it's a front loader. After each cycle, leave the door slightly open to let it air out. Once a week, wipe the rubber seal and run an empty load with vinegar or a washing machine cleaner. It prevents that musty smell that can sneak into your clean clothes. Now, consider this. Your home's scent reflects its energy. When the air feels stale or the smells are a little off, it's often a sign that something needs care. Not just a surface, but a system. Is the trash being emptied regularly? Are pets groomed and their spaces cleaned? Are fabrics being refreshed every season? These small checkpoints help keep everything flowing. Don't forget your entryway. That first moment when someone walks into your home. A place for shoes, a small plant, or a lightly scented sachet in the coat closet goes a long way. First impressions aren't just for guests. They affect how you feel the moment you return home too. And here's one you may not hear often. Be kind to your senses. Strong air fresheners, harsh cleaners, and overused candles can cause headaches, fatigue, and irritability, especially for older adults. Choose lighter scents, use natural ingredients when possible, and trust that a home doesn't need to smell like a perfume ad. It needs to smell like life, gently lived. Now, let's talk about emotional scent. You know what I mean. The invisible aroma that comes from joy, patience, memory, baking a favorite bread, simmering a pot of herbs, opening the window while you hum a familiar tune. These scents linger in the heart long after they fade from the air. They are part of what makes a house a home. And finally, if you take nothing else from today, take this. Small, steady care is never wasted. When you choose to do the little things, fluff the pillow, wipe the doorknob, light a candle for yourself, and not just for guests, you are telling yourself, this matters. I matter. Cleanliness is never just about tidiness. It's about intention. It's about energy. And more than anything, it's about creating a space that welcomes you back to yourself again and again. You deserve that every day. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to thank you. Truly. I don't take your time or presence for granted. I know how precious your energy is, and I hope something shared today brought a little peace, a little clarity, or maybe just a small nudge towards something gentle and good. You see, these habits aren't just about cleaning. They're about care. They're about presence. They remind us that even in seasons of change, of slowing down, of letting go, we still have the power to shape our space and nourish our days with small, loving actions. When you crack the window, when you wash the pillow cover, when you simmer something soft on the stove, you're doing more than tending to a home. You're tending to yourself. And that's not a small thing. If something in this video resonated with you, maybe a scent that reminded you of childhood, or a ritual you'd forgotten, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and share your memory, your habit, your wisdom. I read every single message, and it means more than you might think. And if you'd like to join me again, I hope you will. Click subscribe to Thoughtful Elders Insight, and you'll be the first to know when we post more reflections, advice, and comfort for this stage of life we're walking through together. Until next time, take care of your space and take care of you. You deserve both.